Welcome, everybody. And today, this is our Friday meeting, and Deborah I just spoke with her today, and she's doing good with her little baby, Jira. Jira is a month old now. And in 2 weeks, I'm flying down from Dallas to Tampa, where she lives in Palm Harbor in her new home. And we're having an open house. And we're inviting all the neighbors, her neighbors, and a bunch of people that will come. And we're doing that to not only, be friendly, welcome Jira, welcome their new home, their new dream home that they're in, that they just love. Myra, their 3-year-old daughter, says, "Oh, the big house that we live in now." So it's their big place that they're in. And so Deborah sends her love to all of you and all of us, and she's doing great. And she'll probably be back by like the end of the month or something. But she said on just how proud she is on everybody on doing such a great job and, doing their own first calls or second calls or whatever. And then Robin asked me to join. Normally I'm in the fourth week of the month that I join you. And she asked me to join and talk about mindset, but we will definitely be talking about that. But does anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts, anything getting in your way right now for building your business, that anything that's on your mind, to include something personal, like you had a good July 4th?
Yes.
Yes.
I do.
Right. Go ahead.
So I was listening to, I think it was Jim Rohn or somebody?
Yeah, Jim Rohn.
And hi everybody, happy Friday. And I spoke to Robin about this a little bit, but the thing is that we all have to be really careful that we don't convince ourselves that we are truthfully doing the things we say we are doing or we want to do. And I realized that when other things in my life are challenging, I tend to do that on my work side of things. I give myself, I say, well, I'm doing everything. I'm manifesting. I'm doing my vision board. I'm doing my calls. I'm doing this, but actually I'm not really. I'm just telling myself I'm doing it. And I don't know if I'm sharing this in the correct way or if anyone else can resonate with that, but it's almost like you're just making it okay. You're kind of like just scamming yourself a little bit and saying, well, I'm doing everything. And so, for me personally, I've had a lot on my plate this week. And so I had to really pull my socks up and say, no, you have to be truthful to yourself, Amanda, and you have to honestly admit, are you doing the things that you know you need to do to get the job done?
Yeah.
And if I'm truly honest with myself, and so the tears start flowing and I realize that I'm not being honest with myself.
Yeah.
And so I'm really struggling with that right now.
Yeah. And Amanda, you coming from heart like this and you sharing your truth, we have either all been there or we are right there right now. And just most people maybe won't face up to that. And so I'm going to share with you how you can turn that around and really build the life that you want. And it's all very easy. And so, to first start out, so, Amanda starts out saying, hey, by the time you were done there, Amanda, that, hey, you're in tears. You don't feel good, that, I'm blind to myself, and I'm just not getting what I want to do. And so a way to look at that is that all of us, and again, we're all in a different situation, but we've all been there before when you have described or something similar to it. And I like looking at that as walking down the stairway to hell. Okay. And what happens is when, and the committee now gets a hold of you. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the committee is that little chattering voice that you have in your head. And it is the only thing that keeps you away, when it's like, the only thing in your way is you, that it's this chattering committee. And it's like this mahogany table up in your head, if you will, beautiful mahogany table. You've made it this powerful, that we've made it, this powerful, that there's executive chairs around this table. And there's these characters. And so number one is fear. And, fear is the second most powerful power there is. And it will create for you. So when you fear you don't have enough business, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough love, whatever it is, that you actually are attracting. And so there's fear, there's worry, there's doubt, there's complaining, there's shame, there's guilt. And the head of that board, that committee, that is the only devil that there is, the only thing working against you, that at the head of that is the judge. And who is it judging? Amanda just told us who. Judges ourselves. And it says, shame on you. You're lying, you're not doing, you should be working hard. Like, just get rid of that idea. You don't have to work hard to be successful. You just need to feel good, and you feel good by asking for good feeling thoughts. And really, that's the whole answer. We could stop this right now. The challenge is that we've been all of our lives told you got to work hard. And then we've looked at other people, and we've seen our parents and whatever. And, on sports, if I turn on Sports Center, what do you attribute your success to? Oh, it's because I work hard. It's none of that. That everything starts with our thought. Now, I might do inspired action, but that's when I'm really feeling good. Like, I never do anything that you don't feel good. So let's go back to the example with, again, Amanda, thank you so much for being so authentic and, again, being real and being, all of us have been where you are or are right now where you are. And so instead of, it's as easy as this, instead of walking down this corridor of hell, because it'll get worse. Because when you say, oh, yeah, I'm lying about this, and then the committee will say, oh, yeah, you're not doing this. Oh, look at your bank account. And there's no end to it. It's like a rabbit hole. And so we get to choose, though. And that's why I love July 4th. And I love America and the USA. And I'm, military guy, blah, 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 that I'm loyal. My dad was shot down in World War II, was in a Nazi prison camp for 13 months, all these things. But the most important freedom that we have on July 4th is we have the freedom to choose our thoughts. We don't have to listen to this committee any longer. We can shut down that voice. It's a drunken monkey that wants to take you down to the demise of you. And so how do I do that? How do I turn my direction? How do I start walking down the corridor to heaven? That's where we want to be, where the goodness is, where the happiness is, where the abundant life is that we've all been promised. And so how do you do that? It's this simple. It's the next thought that I'm going to have. And the next thought that you can have is simply this, is to ask. You're ask and you shall receive. Who are you asking? Depending on your upbringing, you're asking God, your higher power, the universe, whatever you want to call that. All of us have a higher power that is a kingdom within us. And it is always there. And what Amanda described was a storm, okay? This outside world appears to us to be a storm. And the reason why it is because it all starts with me inside. When I'm okay, the world will change and it'll be okay. But I can't have my committee ruling the nest and having me think that these are my thoughts. They are not my thoughts. They do not serve me. So how do you know? And catch this, we have 60,000 thoughts a day. So do you have to monitor all 60,000 thoughts? No. You just monitor your feelings, because God, your higher power, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the kingdom within you, that you have a communication system with your higher power, with God Almighty. And that communication system is not in English, is not in Spanish, is not in whatever language. It is the most effective communication process known to mankind. And that is our feelings. When you feel bad, that is God telling you, you are not thinking about this the way that I am. Oh, and when you realize that now, again, I'm using Amanda, but I could probably call all of our names, right? At some point where we've been, that think about when you have a thought like, oh, that person, that prospect at Pharmanex, they said no. How do you feel? I can guarantee you this. God does not feel bad. Your higher power does not think there's something wrong. Your higher power goes to what you do want. The no is there. This contrast, this what you don't want is there, so you can build the energy and think the thoughts and have the feelings about what you do want. So God goes there right away, knows exactly what you want. You want more business. You want more money. You want to help more people with their health. You want to be able to have people pay, go to the first call, go to the second call, have them on your team, build them on the team. Well, if you just think about that, it's only possible for you to get that. The issue is the committee tries to keep us in our pity party on this person said no. So when we can go up, an easy technique on that is simply say to yourself, when you feel bad, so Amanda felt bad, and the more she kept on talking about it, the worse she was. And that's only in front of us. And you know how all of us, our committees, can just drag us down. And that right when you feel bad, you realize, it's the committee trying to trick me. But I got this now. And I simply look at it and I say, this is what I don't want. I don't put any energy. And then I ask, what do I want? I want to build my business. I want people to say yes. I want to attract ready, willing, and able people that are on it, that are the best team members, that are better than me, that sell the heck out of the Pharmanex, that help people around the world. That's what I want. And when you go there, you'll start feeling good. And the reason why you're feeling good is because that's where God is. That's where your desires are. And that is God telling you by you feeling good that you're on your lighted path now. You're walking with God now. So hearing that, what do you like best? Oh, come on now. Your thoughts, questions about it then. If not what you like best, what do you question? Do you understand? Can you follow on how important your feelings are? And it's your guidance system?
It's a practice, Dr. Hank. It's a practice. You have to practice over and over. And what I do is I say, uh-oh, I'm feeling that way. And I try to feel, where is it in my body? And it's usually in my gut.
Yeah.
People have it in different places.
Mhm.
But when I feel it, I say, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And that's your first sign that something has to be different. And so then you look for the right words, like the ones you just said, that are self-inspiring.
Yeah.
So you know, you can inspire other people, but you first have to inspire yourself. So
Yeah.
then you look for those words and you say, okay. And then I honestly, if I just meditate on that for a short while, I can usually get rid of that feeling in my stomach, because there's enough positivity to look at. And the more you do it, the more you're piling up the good things.
Yeah.
And the big pile that's good gets a little closer to you. And it seems like it's easier and quicker to flip that switch.
Oh, Joy, that's so beautiful. I just love
Mhm.
that. That is just great. And yeah, to be able to feel it in your gut. Yeah. And it's that empty feeling that you have. And right when you have that, you know, oh, it's a committee trying to get in, trying to make me feel disempowered. So now some may be thinking, or there's a tendency for the committee to come in and say, you know, this Dr. Hank guy, I mean, you know, he's in la la land, man. That, you know, why doesn't he face reality? I mean, you know, look at my business really is bad. I didn't have any calls and blah, 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 blah. Okay. And so I give you this, that all of the science disciplines within about the last 7 years, so quantum physicists, molecular biologists, neuroscientists, all of the disciplines have agreed that anything in our experience is created in just three steps, the scientists say, just 3 steps. So now, don't listen to what I say, just listen to what has been proven. That the scientists say, for us to have anything manifested, and so they call it matter, M-A-T-T-E-R, okay? That the first step and the all-important step that starts everything is our thought. We have the power with our thought to be able to literally use the energy that creates worlds to be able to create our life the way we want it. The issue is, out of those 60,000 thoughts we have, 80%, for most people, 80% of those thoughts are unwanted or negative thoughts. So that's why most people aren't very happy. Okay. And their committees are very, very active. And I would invite all of you, like if you can resonate with what I'm sharing with you, to attend on Mondays the Master Heart Family. Because on Mondays, it's 1 o'clock Eastern, that for an hour, we get together and we take the guards away from our heart. We take the chains off of our heart and the locks on, you know, we're all guarded and everything. We take that all off and we become authentic. And we just share the miracles. There are miracles happening everywhere. And then normally we do a meditation where we can get one with God. And as Joy just brought up, she meditates. Yeah, I meditate every day. Why? Because the kingdom's within. For me to change this outside world, we can give up the battle. This is about you making a decision today. I'm going to give up this battle. I'm not going to do this battle. You know, we all have a roof over our head. We all have food. We live better than kings and queens ever did. You understand that? I mean, most of us are like in the top 10% income ever in the history of the world. And, we could fly instead of taking carts or whatever. I was in Bali, like 2 months ago, and, the king was on an elephant, and that was how he got around. Everybody thought, wow, look at how lucky the king is. I mean, riding an elephant, which I did, is a terrible experience compared to first class on a jet.
Yeah.
And,
I was going to say, Dr. Hank, I was listening with joy and all of that too. And I heard years ago that for NASCAR drivers, when they're driving and if they start to go into a tailspin or whatever, their biggest fear is hitting the wall. And so they're trained. Now, I don't know if they can do this in reality, but they're trained that the last thing that they want to do if they lose control of their car is to look at the wall, because that's where they don't want to go. So they try to train them to look for the middle of the track or somewhere else, because we're always going to go where we're focused.
yeah.
And that has always stuck with me as such a great analogy of how to make those choices in our brain when things aren't going the way we want to go. Quit focusing on that. And then, like you said, focus on, well, where do you want to go? And just keep focusing on that, and you're going to get there. And then the other piece that I like to do is if you've had a bad day or something, then I will try to do just one little action in the right direction. Because without the action, you're really not going to get anywhere. But it can be a very, very tiny little action, and that typically can open the door to more.
Yeah. Can you give an example of an action?
Oh, it could be making a phone call,
Okay.
to someone that you've had on your list.
Yeah.
It might be going to LinkedIn and, okay, let me connect with 10 more people there to increase my numbers and my leads that way. Or,
Yeah.
it can be if you don't have clarity and you want to get a plan, then it might be, let me sit down for half an hour and put together 10 steps that I can do to head in the right direction now that I know where I want to go.
Beautiful, beautiful, yeah. And the maybe a helpful tip on that. Thank you so much, Karen. Beautiful. I love this idea about the track. And let's get on our lighted track, okay, and not look at the walls, not look at the bad stuff, the nose, etc. And so I would just add with action, the word before that is inspired action. When you're inspired, that means you're being led by your higher power. And so if it feels good to make those 10, hey, I want to make 10 more connections, make those. But if it's like, oh, shit, I just can't make another damn connection, I'm done with this, then it might be, hey, I'm going to go eat an orange, or whatever. I'm going to go, treat yourself. Let's be nice to each other, to ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves. The one, who badmouths you more than all the billions of people in the world? Put them all together, and you weigh how far your committee badmouths you more than anybody. Give that up. You don't need to do that anymore. And let me share on these steps, because it's important here to understand, and you brought up a great point, Karen, about this. Well, what's the reality, in this race car? And hey, I don't want to, hit the wall. So science says the first step to create our dreams to come true, in essence, is what they're saying, is our thought. Our thought. So think about what you're thinking about, because whatever you're thinking about, you're going to get. So if you're fearful, remember, second greatest fear, power is fear. That if you're I hope this doesn't happen, you're now attracting that. And so our thought goes to, according to scientists, step 2, our emotions, which they call the energy. Your thought creates energy, and this energy then creates matter, M-A-T-T-E-R. And this is why thoughts become things. So if I'm in a race car right now and get hit or whatever, and I'm going in a flip, that we call that reality, okay? But that isn't reality. Remember, where reality is created is in our thoughts. So that person had thoughts of spinning out, and those that hit the wall, that's because they feared the wall, and they actually attracted all of that. We are the creators of our own experience. Nobody else can take credit but us. And so our thoughts create this energy, and that energy, our emotions, is actually a signal. So the scientists left God out. But the reality is that our thoughts, we started off, ask, knock, and the door shall be open, seek and you shall find it, ask and you shall receive. All of that is our thought. Our thought creates our emotion. That's why our emotion is. So that's why you don't want to put a big charge into something you don't like somebody telling you no, or looking at your bank account, or whatever it might be that makes you feel bad, because it's old news. So when they say, Dr. Hank, go face reality, I say, there's no way in hell I'm facing reality. I'm going to go create it. And I know how to create it by simply my thoughts. I don't have to. We have been conditioned. We have been taught, face reality. Look at what's happening right now. I don't care what's happening right now. I care what's happening right here and right here. That is going to create my future. And when I realize that all of us signed up to be in this world, because this world has the perfect everything we want in it and everything we don't want. And we have to brush up against the things we don't want, the no's, the arguments, the, pain in the right elbow, whatever. We have to have all that contrast. It has to be, and we signed up for this, that it has to be so that we can then birth new thoughts and feelings about what we do want. And that creates the bright future for every one of us. So let's get out of our pity party and say, I'm not going there. It's made up. When Amanda was saying that, it was just all thought. Okay. It was just thought. It's not really, it's not like, and people will say, oh, this awful thing. And, it's like, like you got 10 men with knives ready to stab you. And there aren't 10 men, there aren't knives. It's all in your head. And it's this committee. And so I can change this. So again, how do we do that? We simply say, I don't feel good. So that's what I don't want. Whatever I'm thinking about, that's what I don't want. That's the committee. And so I'm not going to get suckered into that anymore. I'm not buying into that stuff. That doesn't give me what I want. I want to walk with God. And so I'm going to turn and I ask, what do I want? And you will be given thoughts, people you'll attract, circumstances and events that will start making you just skipping along your lighted path. And again, we're all going to have contrasts. Like a lot of people think I don't have contrasts, things that don't happen. The other day, Jenny broke a vase. She was just in tears. The vase was broken all over the kitchen and everything. And I come in and she kind of looks at me almost kind of like worried. And I'm zigging away in my head. I'm thinking, when she was a little girl, she broke something and her parents yelled at her, all this past stuff that isn't our friend. And I came up and I went, this is fantastic. And she looks at me and she takes this sad, terrible, and she starts smiling because she knows I'm going to find the good in this. Okay. And I'm going to find the wanted in this. And I go, look at that. We can clean up this glass together. And then after that, we can go shopping for another one. And then her eyes lit up shopping. And it's just this, we could turn anything into gold. We have the power to do that. So let's turn our lives into gold now. We each have the power to do it because we have been blessed with this amazing ability to be able to think. Unlike the animals, unlike anything else on this earth, we have the ability to think that then goes to this energy, our emotion, and that's a signal to God. And God takes our thought, our prayer, and instantly receives it and instantly answers it. And it is sitting there ready for you to allow it in. but you can't allow it in if you're thinking about the no you got. Okay, you can't allow it in if you're, upset and think, oh, I don't have enough sleep. When I was talking to Deborah today, that she goes, oh, we're not getting any sleep, and I gotta, pump my breasts and feed the baby, all this stuff, and I said, stop using that dirty word else. Oh, I don't have enough sleep. I said, hey, love that you're with these precious moments, that you're able to be with your family, that you're with Firenex, that makes you be in this position where you don't have to go get go work or whatever, that, enjoy this. And she goes, oh my God, yeah, it has actually been, and we took her on a hell right into heaven. And within just a couple minutes, and we each have the power to do that. So your thoughts about that?
I always think of, keep your eyes on the prize, right? I mean, it's right there in the Bible when they say that. And it's always, if you keep your eyes there, you're missing all of the rest of the stuff that happens along the way, along the journey.
Yeah. And again, even that stuff, if you will, the wall is actually a blessing, because the wall helps me to, stay on my lighted path, and helps me to, whatever, drive faster, feel better, whatever that may be. But this contrast, we have to have it, and then it takes us to this great place. And so it's a good life, guys. And the Firenex is just an amazing opportunity for the world, for you, for other people, to just share the good news. And there's nothing to be nervous about. Be happy, enjoy yourself. And, we're here for 3 reasons. Your soul is here for 3 reasons. Number 1 is growth, and you're going to have growth because we all signed up to live in this world that has the contrast, that can then birth and expand and put the eternity into all of us, God and all that is, because of the important role that each one of us play. And so growth is going to happen. But we're also here for freedom, and the freedom to think, and the freedom for you to have your dreams come true. And the way to do that is simply think about your dreams. And an easy way to start out, and for those that don't have it, contact me. I'll give you my Joy Shop, a great way in the morning to do it. That we heard a little bit earlier, well, this is hard and we got to consistently do it. Don't say that, because then it'll be hard. That, hey, this is going to be easy. And it's just this moment. All your powers right now. So it's right now, if I'm thinking about something that I want and I'm feeling good, such as I want a long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. And that one I would write down. And if you would just say that all the time, you'd be calling me for a demanifestation session, because you'd have so much of your stuff. You really would.
Demanifestation.
Really would. So that's wonderful. Any other thoughts? Can I help anybody have anything specific about Firenex, on the sale and what to do, how to attract better people, or personally, on how to have a better relationship or whatever. Carrie, is that you?
Yes, hi. So say we have a negative thing happen. And I know you don't want to pay any mind to it, and you want to put your head into the place of what you do want.
Yeah.
Is it normal to reflect upon it, talk about it, and then move on?
Could you help me put it in the back of
We are we supposed to just not pay it any mind, or can we think about it for a little bit, reflect on it, or is that not healthy?
Yeah. So do you have a specific example?
Yeah, and it wasn't a big deal. And normally I would just ignore it. But when you're in a place when the whole week is going wrong, it kind of brings you down.
Sure.
I had somebody barking at me like a rabid dog. This woman, don't even know her. It's an MLM, and the MLM, but like not even just that. It was like a personal attack. I'm like, you don't even know me, or what I said, what products I have, or what I'm doing, or about the scanner, or anything. And how dare you do that? And I want nothing to do with you. And I will never support an MLM. And what else did she say? It was just like boom, boom, boom. and you have to take a look at yourself and figure out why do you think you'd run a business like this?
Okay, that's good. I get it. We get
Whoa.
it. We get it. You don't want to build that energy.
I started fighting back. I knew that was not the thing to do. Usually I just ignore it and laugh and move on. But today I was just in the mood to fight back. I'm like, you know what? I started defending the company and writing stuff, and I sent her back some things, and I just stopped and I just blocked her. I'm like, you know what? I don't even want this negative energy anymore.
Right.
And then I started to go, and then I just took a ride. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go find something that makes me happy. So I bought these sunglasses.
Great. You look hot in them, you know, a hot mama.
And I went to a local health food store to check in on a booth that them thinking of setting up for a health screening. And yes, they want to do the health screening. They want to post it on social media. They want me to come in, and it turned apart. The whole thing just turned around.
Yeah, good. So the answer is that you never want to do much reflection. You, however, do want to say, this is what I don't want. And with not much energy, but that was this lady's committee going. And so you want to give people a break too. You want to just say, that it's just their committee. They don't know who I am. They don't understand this amazing, product I have, and, way to help their health. They just don't understand. So it's not worth it. But it's this idea about, I just love that lady came to me because, man, that's what I don't want. What do I want? I want to have people that support me. I want to have people that back me. I want to have people that say, yes to me. Oh man, I love yes. That's what I want. I want people that are similar minded. I want people that are kind. I want people that are loving. Without that lady, you wouldn't be saying these things, and thus you wouldn't have a better future. And you, Carrie, turned it around. You did let it get at you. And by the way, that was pushing your buttons, and guess who made the buttons?
Yeah.
And so people, and especially people that are real close to us, they know how to push our buttons. Okay. And just remember, you made the button. And so you can either, okay, I'm not going to go there anymore, and have that. But this beautiful thing about, and a beautiful example on how you turn that around from, this is what I don't want. Because remember, I shared with you, this world has everything we don't want in it, but it also has everything we do want. We have to brush up against the little bitch that we have to brush up against her. Because, and am I glad she was actually a big one, okay, that I am so happy about that, because that really gets my energy and my thinking about, this is my prayer now. This is the type of people, and it gives me clarity. So when someone says, oh, I don't have the $2,800, you go, this is fantastic. This is what I don't want. Here's what I want. I want people that are ready, willing, and able. Everybody has the money. I just need to do a better job, and I have to now do a better job on showing my value. Because I can help people overcome cancer without doing chemotherapy, okay? And so they'll pay me whatever amount I tell them. I say, hey, it costs $100,000. They'll come up with $100,000. Same people that told you $2,800 they couldn't do. So it's all a matter of my value, and the value and who they're really buying from is you. And so and again, that's why we love these no's, these, oh, I don't have enough money, these excuses, whatever. It's like, there's something what I don't want. I know this world has all those people. And if I keep on thinking about those people, I'm going to attract more of them. So I'm not going to do that. The committee wants you to. The committee wants to get into, hey, I was right, they were wrong, and they don't know me, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, this is what I want. Thank you for giving me. So if you look at it as God put that person there for you, so that you could really build your thinking and your energy and get to where God is about your dreams and desires. And then you'll attract wonderful people. And remember that, so like I do that, and I attract just incredible people like every one of you, okay? But do I, brush up against somebody that isn't? Sure. And what do? Hey, thank you so much, guy. This is fantastic. I had and I was kind of going through on, well, you know, who did I, you know, recently, and I had chipped my tooth, and then today I got my permanent in, and this lady was trying to sell me on them being the dentist, and I got to go to them, and I got to, you know, sign up with them and all this stuff, and I just go, boy, this is all stuff. I don't want to be sold any, you know, thing that. And what do I want? Wow, I want harmonious, wonderful people. And when I walk out, Robin texts me and says, hey, can you talk in front of this amazing, fantastic team today? Oh my God. See, it just happens like that. Because I went off the contrast and I asked for harmonious people, similar-minded people, kind people, people that get it. People that get me, and people that help me to my desires. And when you can stand tall and say, I want to attract people that help me to my desires, they win and you win. Most people would tell you it's selfish, that there's no other way. You can only think and feel for yourself. And when you think and feel for yourself about what you want, you will thrive, and then everybody around you will thrive with you. Woo, doggies. Thoughts? That helpful, Carrie?
Yeah, it is helpful.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Good.
Hey, Dr. Hank, that was so awesome. And I apologize for my interruption. I had a delivery that came and I didn't realize I was not on mute. So I apologize, Carrie.
That's okay.
Anyway, that's really awesome, because that I just like you said, Dr. Hank, I think every one of us on this call have been through the exact same thing with Carrie and that Amanda has said today.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what your thoughts are on taking 5 or 10 minutes to have your pity party and then get over it. That's kind of how I usually do it. I usually say, okay, Carolyn, you got 10 minutes, whine away, get over it, and then move on. What are your thoughts on that?
You bet. Whatever you think about, wanted or unwanted, for at least a minute, starts creating that energy. You'll start creating more of it in your life. So the committee tells you, oh, I'll feel better if I, you know, beat up a pillow or whatever. You know, I think about this, or if I yell at that lady, you know, or, you know, yell at her even though she's not there, then it'll make me feel better. But the fact is that you may your committee will talk you into, yeah, you know, I feel better now that I got that all out and everything. And then hang on, because you're going to get a whole bunch more of it.
Okay, that makes sense. So we want to try to turn it immediately.
Yeah. Because see, God has never been sad about anything. God has never felt bad about anything. God sees the contrast and understands exactly what you do want and goes there. And so God is sitting in joy all the time. And so can we. We're made in the image and likeness of God. So we can be in joy too. But our committee has gotten us a hold of us, and, you know, our upbringing and our culture, and, you know, we're supposed to manipulate the world. Stop manipulating the world. It's no fun. And the world keeps on changing. So good luck with that. Just call forth what you want. And see, most of us don't think we're that powerful. You're each that powerful. And they said, what, am I supposed to do? Just sit in a room and do that? Yeah. You do that for a half hour, and you will see you'll attract ideas, people, circumstances, and events that will light up your life. And I'm seeing Mike right now, you know, in there. I mean, he's a perfect example. His life is just lit up. And because this is what he does, you know, he does a joy shot. He thinks about what he wants. You know, you'll hear on Monday about how numbers that get a digital clock. And so I have one like in my bathroom. And so every time I'm in the bathroom and I see a digital clock, and every one of those numbers represents something that we'll talk about on Monday. But Mike was saying that, he was, you know, up and kind of woke up early in the morning and everything. And he turned and his clock said 444. and like talk about the trifecta, okay? And 4 is for manifesting. And so he's like, oh, this is so great. And all he's doing is looking at 444, okay? But he's so excited about that then his life becomes exciting. And that God brings us just amazing people and things. And so you'll see that it's all up to you. This is an inside job, folks. It's not manipulating the world. It's an inside job on your thoughts and your feelings, and you have the power to create your life the way you want it. You can ask for it, and you can get it, and you can have your dreams come true. And many of you on here have demonstrated that, with me, where we've been together. You've had just amazing miracles have happened. And, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and he would say, oh, I want to be bigger. Well, bigger isn't about the money, isn't about more audience, more people. Bigger is about your joy. That's the prize. So we're here for growth. We're here for freedom. And then the prize is joy. Have fun with this. Enjoy meeting the people. Don't have your little committee on the agenda that, I need to close these people or whatever. I want to, meet with these people. Everybody, there is gold in everything if you look for it. And so they may not, do the farm next, but they may have leads for you or, whatever. You'll see it's all figured out in an amazing way. The Father does the work. We do the asking with our thought. Father does the work. You don't have to do the how. You'll be given the how with thoughts, with, again, people you attract and circumstances, situations. And so let's give up the bad. Let's go have some fun. Let's love each other. Let's take off all that, I'm going to be guarded and all this stuff. And don't be afraid to talk to people. People are beautiful. They're wonderful. They're just like you and I. Okay. And you just need to touch their heart. And so I call in Archangel Gabriel before any call, before this I did. And Archangel Gabriel is the angel of communication. I want to be the angel of communication. And then voila, stuff comes out of my mouth. I have no agenda to say here today. I just let the Father do the work. And so can we all do that. And just enjoy ourselves. Love each other. And know that this is a good world. It's an abundant world. And you'll see, whether you're living your pity party or not, that you'll see when you transition back into the non-physical, you'll see all of this played out perfectly. And so why don't you enjoy the ride with God? And don't fight it. Allow it all in. And you'll see the heavens will part for you. And everything that you've asked for will be flowing into you in perfect portions and perfect timing. Amen.
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 I'll chime in. First of all, thank you for the little kind comments and acknowledgement. And I look forward to telling the 444 story.
Yeah.
But we were talking this week, and I guess what Amanda experienced, and everyone has experienced that in some form, whether it's with work or with family or some situation where it's like everything is collapsing or you just so much going on. How do I get out of it? Whatever. And you gave me a great analogy. What's the word? Why can't I? Anyway, analogy. Oh my gosh. So anyway, the analogy was, it's like a storm, right? You get this huge storm going on around you. What do I do? And if you think about what is one of the worst storms out there, right? It's a hurricane. And there's all kinds of stuff swirling around, right? But what's in the center of that hurricane? It's calm, right? It's absolutely calm in the eye of that hurricane. And so in the midst of the worst of the storms that are possible, there is calm. And we got to find that calm in that storm, and then we can advance. And I just thought that was a great analogy. When it's happening to you, find the calm and you will get through that.
Yeah. And what's beautiful, thank you, Mike, beautifully stated, and there is a calm in each one of us. There's peace within each one of us. And when you do find the calmness, that quietness, that stillness, that then the storm goes away. Doggies. That's what I'm talking about. The outside
Thank you,
world.
guys. I want to say thank you to everybody. You're all amazing, and everybody has given me lots of great hope.
Great, great.
And you know what? Everything that you all say is correct and true. And it's like, it's only a momentary thing. And I've never felt so lucky to be surrounded by such awesome people as all of you. And, you know, we're a great team, and together we will succeed. So thanks again for your support and your words of wisdom. And I love you all.
Thank you, Amanda. With that, yeah, we love you, and thank you for you being authentic. And because there really are no secrets, that you know, all the things, our insecurities, our the challenges, that you know, we've all been through that, and so to be able to observe that, and another good thing to focus on, if you will. So I want answers and solutions. And then you'll be given answers and solutions. But if you're just saying about the problem, you're just going to be given more problems. And so I just want answers and solutions. And so it's a good one to write down. And that's what I want. It's just answers and solutions. I mean, the answers and solutions to my long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. And know that all is well, and you're beautiful. You're going to have a great, this just put you into a fantastic weekend now. You're vibrating high. You're going to just attract all kinds of amazing, incredible things, and know that the magic is starting to happen, starting right now.